Laura Ingalls Wilder once said, "Our hearts grow tender with childhood memories and love of kindred, and we are better throughout the year for having in spirit become a child again at Christmas time." I recently shared with you about this beautiful gold-framed mirror that I found at a ministry thrift store near me, and I paid $7 or $8 for it, which I was just elated. It was a complete steal. And the fireplace was a gift from my mother earlier in the year, and I've been really excited to decorate it for Christmas. On this video, you will see me beginning to decorate the fireplace for Christmas. I will not complete it in this video. In fact, I hope to do a video coming up soon on decorating our vintage cottage country kitchen for Christmas. But I did want to get a start here on the fireplace, and I truly love to clean before I decorate, and living on a farm, dust collects quickly, so here I am giving the fireplace a good dusting before any decor. I recently found this garland at Walmart, and I was impressed with, for the price, just how authentic it looks and the variety of greenery that it has in it. And I had seen it at one Walmart and walked away and thought I'll think about it. And then I went to several Walmarts after that wanting to get it and couldn't find it. And eventually I did find it at a Walmart across town. Garlands can get pricey very quickly, and so I feel like this garland is a budget-friendly option. This beautiful candlestick holder was found at the same ministry thrift store as the mirror, and I only paid a few dollars for it. Just an interesting story about the candle in this thrifted candle holder. My mother saved all of the candles that burned in our wedding in the candelabras. She just put them all in a plastic bag and gave them to me years later. And I put them away and thought I would burn them at special occasions. And so this being our 25th wedding anniversary, I have been burning one of those candles this year, and it's really sweet to just see the glow in our vintage cottage kitchen and to remember that that candle was burning during our wedding ceremony. I recently decided to can some chili from an Amish recipe book. I thought it would be great to have chili on our pantry shelves for the winter months. This recipe made a huge batch of chili and called for a lot of tomato juice. I did not have enough in the house, and so I remembered some tomatoes in the refrigerator that were getting too soft, and I decided to put them through the blender and make my own juice. And you can see that process here as I am just rinsing those tomatoes, chopping them, and putting them in the blender to make tomato juice. since this recipe called for a ton of tomato juice and I did not have enough, I was glad to remember that I had some frozen tomatoes from a previous garden harvest. And the wonderful thing about freezing tomatoes is when you put them under hot water, their skins just slip right off. And even after I went through my frozen stash of tomatoes, I still did not have enough tomato juice, so I turned to the little cherry tomatoes that I had in the refrigerator. I was grabbing for anything I could to acquire the tomato juice that I needed for this canning recipe. A large component of this chili was browning the ground beef, which was in a large amount, and so too much for a skillet. So I decided to do that in the roaster, and that way I could stir it and walk away and work on other things and come back and stir it some more and just give it all time to cook and brown nicely. I had a lot of onions to chop as well, and thankfully I had a little helper come in who really enjoys stirring up ground beef, and she enjoys mixing things together and learning in the kitchen, and so she was a help to me on this canning project. I love to take the opportunity to throw in garlic just because it adds flavor and it is so good for us, so I added in some garlic to the meat that was browning. Here I am adding the juice to the stock pot so that I could mix the ingredients together for the chili. And now it's time to add the spices that make the chili so delicious, and I will be putting the recipe for this chili in the description below. I did use some cornstarch in the chili. The recipe called for that, and that's to thicken it up a bit. But I tried to sprinkle the cornstarch in ever so finely and carefully because I did not want it to clump in the chili mixture. And oh, what a rewarding feeling it is on a big canning project such as this to arrive at the point where the food starts being funneled into the jars. And so you can see me here just ladling in using a stainless steel funnel. I'll link the funnel below. I like that. Sometimes I use plastic, but I prefer the stainless steel. And then I use a little vinegar on a paper towel to wipe the rims of my jars to make sure that there's nothing on there that would hinder the seal in the canning process. And I also just check the rim. I run my finger along it and make sure there are no chips because that also would hinder a seal. And then I screw those rings on and prepare them for the canner. I used my Presto electric pressure canner for these jars and did them in batches. And one thing that I like to do is always to pour some vinegar in the canner so that the glasses will come out, the jars will come out clear instead of the hard water build up, fogging up the jars. And this canner is so easy to operate. I love it, and I will link it below. I wanted to just share the unwrapping of a special souvenir that I brought back from our recent 25th anniversary wedding trip to Mackinac Island. While there on the island, I found this beautiful pottery made in Poland, and this pottery is a stoneware, and it is baked in such a way to make it very chip resistant. Today there is a small village in Poland where skilled artists individually handcraft and hand paint each piece of this pottery collection using a hand stamping technique and a freehand designs. I was just stunned by the collection and the many different designs and pieces for different holidays. And I was given a piece of paper with this purchase that we made, and it says that it's created from white clay and fired at temperatures in excess of 3,000 degrees. And it is safe to put in the dishwasher, in the microwave, in the oven, and it is impervious to abrasives. It is durable and will not crack or chip easily. And so I thought that this would just be a lovely souvenir to remember our trip. And I'm just now getting it unwrapped and put out on the dresser in our room. It will probably make its way to the kitchen eventually. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming back to our farmhouse. I hope you have a blessed day and are enjoying the Christmas season.